SRIRAM's IAS, serving the nation since 1985. Ab offline ho ya online, we are the lifeline.
Hello everyone, welcome to SRIRAM's IAS. We are going to start a new series which is on current affairs for your upcoming prelims examination 2025. अब बहुत ही कम दिन रह गए हैं, around 100 days are there. So we are going to revise current affairs of polity which is going to help you. तो पहला टॉपिक है और ये पूरे साल के करंट अफेयर्स होंगे, ठीक है, ये पूरे साल के करंट अफेयर्स होंगे. धीरे धीरे छोटी छोटी क्लासेस में अपन पूरे साल के करंट अफेयर्स कवर करेंगे. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अवर फर्स्ट क्लास. पहले अपन आते हैं एक ऐसे करंट अफेयर पे जो बहुत जरूरी होता है फ्रॉम योर प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, which is, and I am Mayank Bharadwaj by the way, and this is our Polity current affairs series. Let's come to first topic, Telangana Formation Day, 2nd of June 2014 में, in 2014 this state was formed by an act of the parliament. अब prelims में अपने लिए क्या चीज जरूरी होती है? The role of the parliament in formation of states. अब आपने देखा है in our polity, in Indian polity, the power is leaned towards the center. We cannot say that we are a totally perfectly federal state, neither we can say that we are a totally perfectly unitary state, but somewhere in between we are kind of a combination of both the features of the union and the features of the फेडरेशन. सो अब अपन आते हैं इस टॉपिक पर और ये देखते हैं कि अपने लिए क्यों जरूरी है. A little bit of history of Telangana we will discuss, and then we are going to go to our next thing about the power of the parliament and formation of the state. That will be a very important topic for our prelims examination. So let's see, Telangana Formation Day 10th anniversary है 2nd of June 2024 को, and it was formed through this Reorganization Act, आंध्र प्रदेश Reorganization Act 2014. ये पार्लियामेंट लेकर आई थी. और फिर से मैं बता दूं, ऑन द रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट द बिल इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन द पार्लियामेंट, देन द पार्लियामेंट बाय अ सिंपल मेजॉरिटी passes it. It can bifurcate a bigger state into two parts. It can mix two smaller states and make it one single large entity. It can change the boundaries of the state. It can change the name of the state. Many things can be done by the parliament, and the power of the state legislature is very limited here. Although this bill goes to the state legislature, it can give its advice, but the advice is not binding on the central government. It's not binding on the parliament. Parliament has the absolute power to take decision when it comes to the formation of state. Article 3 of the constitution has mentioned about this power of the parliament, and that is the reason why our polity is leaned towards the center, towards the union, more than towards the state. This is one of the reasons. Okay, then, so became the 29th state at that time. Then Telangana before independence, we are going to discuss Telangana, how it was before the independence and what happened after independence, from where this demand of Telangana started to come up. So one of the wealthiest state, and it was under the rule of Nizams of Hyderabad. So Telangana was the part of Hyderabad, and later on it became the part of Madras also. Became the part of Madras also. So state was one of the largest and the wealthiest princely state. Now what happened in 1945? Things were okay till 1945, but in 1945 a revolt broke out, and the leadership of the revolt was done by the communists. The revolt was against the Jagirdari system, which is a sort of a land revenue system, collection of the land revenue from the people. Against this Jagirdari system, a revolt broke out in 1945. Now the Nizam of Hyderabad, he had a sort of personal militia called Razakars. Razakars were very powerful. He gave them more power to suppress this revolt, and this revolt was suppressed very badly. Then came the independence. Then came 1947. India got Azadi in 1947. And now we are going to see what happened after 1947. A standstill agreement was signed between the government of India and the state of Hyderabad. Now, why this standstill agreement? Because of the sensitive nature or the sensitive condition or the circumstances in the state of Hyderabad. The Razakars were sort of pushing out people and was torturing people, and all kind of things were done. Now, this Telangana region, it is the core area where the Telugu speaking population lives. Okay, you have to understand this. Then Nizam violated this agreement. This standstill agreement was signed by the government with the Hyderabad. Then the provision of this statement, this agreement is very simple, that whatever was the status quo which was maintained between the state of Hyderabad and the British Crown will remain the same. But within 1 week, Nizam violated this agreement. What he started doing? He started to stop the exports from India. He started to talk to Pakistan to join Pakistan. And along with it, he did not accept Indian currency as a legal tender. Then the army has to be sent. And within a week, the army restored the peace and Telangana became the part of India. Hyderabad became the part of India. So Indian government launched Operation Polo. There was a military intervention by the government, and within 5 days, army took control of Hyderabad, and Hyderabad became part B state. We already know there were 4 part A, B, C, D kind of state when India became independence. Part A state was those states which were the the bigger state which were directly under the control of the British Crown. Part B state were mostly the princely state, then the commissionerate state and other kind of states. So state reorganization and Telangana formation. Now we are going to see what happened in 1956, because there were commissions which were set up in order to understand whether language can be the basis for formation of the state. So earlier commissions have rejected it. Dhar commission have rejected it. JVP commission have rejected this idea of formation of state on the basis of language. But then came the Dhar commission in 1953 and it accepted the idea. Okay, and with the acceptance of this idea by the Dhar commission that linguistic basis of the formation of state can be allowed, different states started to get built. An act was passed called as the State Reorganization Act of 1956. It was based on the recommendation of the State Reorganization Commission chaired by Fazal Ali in 1953. So same information. And then in 1969, this is the first time the protest erupted for a separate state of Telangana. Because of this protest in 1973, through 32nd Constitutional Amendment Act, reservations in the jobs were given to Telangana people living in Telangana, which was the part of state of Hyderabad. Then it became the part of Madras. Then finally, when the state reorganization happened, a large part of this state of Hyderabad was given to Maharashtra. Okay, and some of the part was given to Karnataka, but Telangana did not become a separate state in itself, but became the part of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and that happened, we all know, in 1950s. Polity Shri Ramalu, he sat on the fast unto death and died after several days of fast, and that was the reason why recommendations were accepted, and that is the reason why linguistic basis was the basis for the formation of the states in India. Then what happened in 2001, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, he was known as KCR, formed Telangana Rashtra Samiti to revive the movement of separate state for Telangana. And in 2009, then again came one more hunger strike by KCR, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, and this hunger strike was for the to pressurize the government for the formation of a new state called Telangana, and that is the reason why this to avoid any kind of riots, any kind of disturbances in the country, any kind of law and order problem, the demand of the Telugu Desam Party, Telugu Rashtra Samiti, was accepted. And then in 2014, through an act of the parliament, Andhra Pradesh was divided into two parts, and the southern and the southeast part, which is the Telangana, became a separate 29th state in India. Okay, this is the whole story of the formation of Telangana. Now let us discuss what is important for prelims here. Article number 3. So what parliament has the authority. It is not the state which has the authority for its formation. State cannot secede from the union, state cannot bifurcate itself, state cannot take over the land of the other state and become a bigger state. None of this thing happens, because in Indian polity what is really important is the union. The union is far more powerful than the state. Although we do have a federal polity, but at the same time we do have a strong union, and parliament has the authority and the power to form new state. What can be done? So it can divide the existing state, it can merge two or more state, okay, or the parts of states, and it can alter the boundaries, it can alter the names. These are the power given to the parliament under Article 3 of the Constitution. The process is very simple. A presidential recommendation is made, and on the basis of that presidential recommendation, the bill is introduced in the parliament. Both the houses of the parliament pass the bill by simple majority, not by a special majority of 368. Article 368 is not involved in the formation of state, but by simple majority only a state can be formed. Then the consultation of state is taken, but that consultation, the advice given by the states, whichever state is getting bifurcated, in this case it would have been Telangana. Okay, so the bill which has been passed by both the houses of the parliament then goes to the legislative assembly of Andhra Pradesh in this matter, and whatever be the advice, whatever be the resolution of the state legislative assembly, it has no effect on the powers of the parliament. Parliament can either accept those views or parliament can reject those views. Okay, and by simple majority this can be done. So very important information for prelims examination. So some of the judicial pronouncements are here, okay, in which the Supreme Court has reaffirmed and confirmed the power of the center, the power of the union, the power of the parliament in formation of the new states. So Babulal Parathe versus State of Bombay, this is a case of 1960 where the Supreme Court held that it affirmed the authority, parliament's authority under Article 3 to reorganize the boundaries of a state. Similarly, state legislature view are advisory in nature, it is not binding. Similarly, in Berubari Union case, one very important thing came up, that if India wants to give away some of its territory to another country, then there has to be a constitutional amendment under Article 368. But if India is taking over the territory or anything which has been in making within the country, formation of new state or mergence of two or more states together, anything it can be there, the decision is taken by simple majority. But if you have to give away some of your territory to another country, a constitutional amendment under Article 368 is required. You must remember this important information. Ceding Indian territory to a foreign country requires a constitutional amendment under Article 368, but formation of new state does not require an amendment under Article 368. So, 9th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1960, this Amendment Act was passed to transfer territory to Pakistan. Some of the territories were passed on to Pakistan, and for that it was needed to make an amendment in the constitution under Article 368. Recently, conclaves were also exchanged between India and Bangladesh. So whenever the Indian territory has to be given to some other country, a constitutional amendment under 368 is needed. Let's come to the latest development. Recently, we have seen this part of India. Everybody recognizes this, Jammu and Kashmir. It was bifurcated into three. It was sort of reorganized into the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir on one hand and Ladakh on the other hand. So now in India, we have three union territories with legislature: Jammu and Kashmir, Pondicherry and New Delhi. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir with legislature and Ladakh without legislature. What was the legal basis? Article 3 of course came up, and through Article 3 the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir was changed and Article 378 was revoked. Okay, there were several issues which were involved, such as the interpretation under Article 367. Interpretation of the constitution can be done. There were several presidential order which came up. So it's a long process, but we just need to understand in this particular piece that in 2019 several changes were made to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, which is then converted into a union territory, and Ladakh becoming a separate union territory. Now this is a very important piece of information where there are ongoing demands of separate statehoods throughout the country. If you see Bodoland, it just wants to get away from Assam, and there are reasons for that. Similarly, Vidarbha, and it is in East Maharashtra, it wants to become a separate state. There are few people who are talking about it. The demand is increasing. Gorkhaland, Swarashtra, similarly it comes in the Gujarat region. These are sort of a regions which in a way are underdeveloped. These are the region which the people or the leaders in these regions think that we are somehow culturally different, or else this particular region is lacking behind in development, and the formation of a new state can help in its better development, and a better life can be given to the people who are living in it. Similarly, Bundelkhand, this is the part of MP and UP both. So if a state of Bundelkhand has to be made, a part of MP and a part of UP needs to come together in the formation of this another state. So what these are just the demands of separate state from different regions of the country. Similarly, Mithila from Bihar, they speak a totally different language. That is one of the bases by which the people of Mithila and the leaders of Mithila think they should form a different state. And recently, Bhil Pradesh, some of the part of Rajasthan, people from the Bhil territories, they just want a separate Bhil state which can be carved out from Rajasthan. Now, these things becoming, in a way, impediment in the unity and integrity of the nation. Shall we see it in that way? Or it is very important to give these states, these regions a chance by making them a separate state, so that a betterment can be done for the people of the country, people of that particular region. Now that is a debatable topic, not related to prelims. We are here to discuss prelims current affair, and this is a special important piece of information along with the role of Article 3 in formation of new state. So here ends our first video. Thank you very much for joining us, and we are going to come up in the next lecture with another current affair topic. Thank you very much, students, and best of luck.
SRIRAM's IAS, serving the nation since 1985. Ab offline, hoya online, we are the lifeline.